Bella is 14 years old and is in kinship care. She's experienced lots of adversity in her childhood, which meant she was unable to stay in her childhood home. She now lives with her nan under a special guardianship order. However, her nan has severe respiratory issues which require daily medication that Bella sometimes administers. Her nan's health is deteriorating, and Bella's worried about what this means for her, who will look after her, and what happens when her nan passes away. She's in mainstream school, and recently she's been regularly getting into fights and is argumentative with everyone. Her behaviours have been escalating, and she has caused harm to herself and others, so the school has initiated safeguarding procedures. They've tried to intervene over the last few months and understand what is going on for Bella. The pastoral team have spoken with her about her behaviours and asked her why she is doing this. The school staff have referred Bella to local children and young people's mental health services recently, but she has struggled to engage and build relationships with staff to communicate what's going on. Bella tells them it's because she keeps telling her things to say. When they ask who she is, Bella becomes aggressive and shouts, "She's in here. She's always in here," pointing to her head. When the staff try to gain a deeper understanding, Bella gets really overwhelmed and begins to throw chairs at the teachers. The staff are struggling to help Bella regulate her emotions and meet her needs, so they call the police. Staff explain that Bella hears a voice in her head and that this isn't an isolated incident. They feel Bella is experiencing an acute mental health crisis and therefore needs to go to hospital for an assessment to understand her needs. The police arrive and Bella continues to attempt to throw chairs and appears to be responding to the voices. The police have no option other than to detain her under Section 136 of the Mental Health Act. The police, along with school staff, take Bella to an appropriate place of safety, which may be a designated area within the local hospital or other healthcare facility, where a Mental Health Act assessment will be completed. Once at the place of safety, Bella becomes very anxious and paranoid and makes assertive efforts to abscond, which requires the police to restrain her on numerous occasions. Therefore, the police have to remain to ensure Bella remains at the place of safety. Bella's nan is asked whether she would consent if Bella needed to go into the children and young people's mental health inpatient setting, also known as Tier 4 CAMS. She refuses, fearing that if Bella were admitted, she might never return home. Staff explain that Bella will need to have a mental health assessment to assess her capacity, and therefore she may need to be detained under Section 2 of the Mental Health Act so professionals can support her. After 21 days in a mental health inpatient hospital under Section 2, the results of her assessment conclude that she's not experiencing psychosis, which they initially thought. However, during the assessment process, Bella has been given a diagnosis of autism. The Section 2 has been rescinded. Bella's discharged back into the community and under the care of her nan, with the support of local groups. An education healthcare plan is applied as a result of her nan accessing support for Bella's autism. Conversations take place with Bella's school about how they can meet her needs following this diagnosis and if it's the most appropriate school to support her. It's felt